Alright, what's going on? Got another training game going. And this time I'm gonna play an opening that um I don't normally play. I want to try to challenge myself and see the other's perspective of some of these lines. Like, for example, if I play black, I would love to play the Scandinavian. I played against a master who had the Scandinavian, and it was very hard to crack. It was very solid, and understanding it from the black side might help me with the white side. And also, it could be just fun, just switch things up. So I put up my request. We'll see if we have any biters to come play with us. I just finished another game where I played my normal openings, 4 nights. Um, but we'll switch it up. We'll switch it up instead. It's good to be have a wide breadth of opening knowledge, just so you're aware of some of the ideas. Okay, but looks like we're playing black. Let's play the Scandinavian. Please play e4. Please play e4. Oh, he plays d4. Let's adjust this. Okay. Let's go into the Benoni or the King's Indian. Which one should we do? Huh. Let's do Benoni. Benoni is always so fun. Except when white knows what they're doing. Yeah, it's good at the lower levels. I feel like when you get to the higher levels, they just know the right moves, and you just have less space the whole game, and it's very difficult. E4, G6. These are the main lines so far of the modern Benoni. H3, a very early H3. Usually when they play H3, I believe they play moves like bishop to D3, bishop to F4, with the plan to escape. Knight F3. H3 is actually very solid. Um, Usually when they play a more solid opening like this, they don't they're not overly aggressive too early. I think we can castle here. H3 also prevents bishop G4. So this bishop in the Benoni is usually the worst piece of the game. And so very often you'll see the bishop go to G4, and then without any H3, we just take the knight. We're not bluffing. We take the knight, and then we have a good game. So here I believe with the H3 lines, to prevent bishop F5, we play knight H5. I think so. But okay, let's see. What should we do here? In the Benoni, we also want to make sure that we prevent E5. So in this line, E5 doesn't work, and we want to expand on the queen side. So we play A6. It's almost always met by A4. So I would not be surprised if they played that immediately. Okay. Our usual setup is something like this. So let's develop our pieces. In other lines, we can also play F5. But I'm not sure when to do that. Is the best time to play this now? Should I allow bishop F5? I think we should prevent it. Because if we allow bishop F5, then this D6 is going to be super annoying to defend the whole game. So if we play it now, do you have any tricks? No, I don't think so. Usually you don't play knight h5 because this bishop is on e2, and there's always a threat to take your bishop, to take your knight, and double your pawns. Or weaken your king side, that's more important. Not really doubling the pawns, but this structure is very hard to get out. So knight h5, let's defend against that, and then let's develop. In some lines, the queen also goes on e7. I don't know the lines of the Benoni too well, but it's a very fun, dynamic opening. Very, very, very fun. But at the highest levels, I know that it doesn't score very highly. Um, so like, what are White's plans? Like, in this setup, it's so positionally solid that even though you have a great position, it's hard to make progress. White's main break is e5, but oh, look at this, they want to go aggressive. They want to push there. They really want the bishop to go to f5. So okay, if you really want it that bad, you can have it. You can have it. We'll go back. I predict bishop f5. We got to defend against d6, so we'll play not queen c8, but queen c7. And in some lines too, we sacrifice one of our pawns, a C pawn or a B pawn, to open up the queen side and try to get active play on that end. But in this case, I mean, the king side is very weak now. So I wonder if we can possibly switch our attention towards the king side. If it is possible. Also, we always be aware of e5. So does it work here? I don't think so. Because our queen is now protecting e5. I also predict a world where they might even play queen d2 and then try to trade off this bishop. Because this bishop is usually a beast in the middle game. And if that's the case, then possibly I'll let that happen. And while the queen is on h6, we'll expand on the queen side and try to open things up. So the queen is not there to defend against many of these lines that I'm opening up. So let's see how they play it. Another way they really want to push e5 is to play rook e1, which will be met by rook e8. And it's a battle. I'm trying to push b5, so eventually I want to put my rook on b8 and try to push this way. And you might be wondering, like, oh, did I waste a tempo here by playing knight h4, knight h5, letting them play g4 and then going back? Arguably yes, but this king side is very weak. So if White's not careful, like that could be a liability. But I'm not sure how it is right now. So maybe g4 in the Benoni is probably a good thing because my play's on the queen side. So I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers. I wish I was an expert at this opening or at chess in general. So he plays a5. He knows that if I get b4 in, then it's going to be a nightmare. Or I just have counterplay. So moves I think about are rook e8, rook b8, c4. One time in the tournament game I played c4 because I didn't want b3 to happen. But I guess if b3 then this knight is hanging, so let's play rook e8 and then rook b8. To always prevent e5. And also, if this bishop comes in, we can also just retreat back. And as you can see, this bishop is very awkward. Maybe in some lines we can even sacrifice on g4. Typical moves, the queen can develop. This rook can go on this active file. Rook can come to e1 to just keep putting pressure on this new break on e5. So let's see how they continue. In my plans, I could also push c4, which gives me a square for my knight, and put pressure on e4. So if you don't push e5, then I'm going to take on e4. So, oh, this is a very famous knight tour. The knight makes a tour to go on the beautiful c4 square. So, possibly c4 was more accurate, but I guess if this, because it also targets this square. I guess now you give me a chance to come in here. Huh. Right? If I come in here, you take, I take, this knight comes, I go back. Everything's pretty, like, I have less space, but I want to kick this knight out soon. And it's not that bad. But I wonder if there's anything better. So, another way to stop this is to just play rook b8, push, and after you take, we take here. What's actually stopping you from playing b5 right now? b5 takes, so I can meet knight c4. That actually might not be a bad idea. So I have the option to play here, intentionally give up this, and let him get a better position, or I can just challenge that move, which sounds like the right plan, because I'm going to capture here. If he plays en passant, because the knight on c4 is very strong. It actually stops a lot of my plans if he plays knight c4. And if you don't take en passant, it's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to play c4, I'm going to play b4, and then possibly even c3 to get a pass pawn. And this bishop is going to be a monster once this knight on f6 moves away. It's not going to be very pleasant. It still takes work. Whenever I analyze my games when I play Benoni, the computer always finds like some, like c3, c2, and I'm like, whoa, like, are you sure? That seems like I'm overextending. But you know, the computer obviously calculates all this stuff, and because of that, I have more confidence in some of these lines if they don't take en passant. I mean, the whole point of a5 is to take en passant. But now I stop knight c4. And I want to do it now because knight c4 is going to come. So I guess that was the right timing. I didn't have time to play rook b8. But the b file's open, so this could be an issue of b2 with my bishop staring down. So that's like what white's trying to do. And also, now this bishop is free. I'm not sure what that will do yet, but maybe in the case where they ever push g5 with accent, we chase away the bishop, and then we capture h3. So, yeah, the Benoni gets crazy. Like, there's a lot of sacrifices. Like, sometimes you play g5, sometimes you play f5. So, well, how did I see this move? Okay. So, taking over the fact that we can't move here. And it's very common in the Benoni to give up the exchange for dynamic play. So I can imagine where I actually do take this. Rook takes. Wait a minute. My knight's defending. So that's losing. That's just straight up losing. My knight's defending this square. I think they didn't realize that. Yeah, this is very strange. So I'm up at exchange. I just trade rooks, and then possibly trade bishops. Your life is good here. You don't have time to take here. What am I missing? What am I missing? Yeah, once you trade, there's none of this stuff. I'm up in exchange with no compensation. It's actually better for me because my pieces are active now. So what turned into like a very tight and cramped position now is very open and free because of this weird knight b5 move. I thought it was like using the pin, to their advantage and trying to be tricky, but that's just straight up lose a piece or lose an exchange at least. And I guess they finally realized that. They're like, oh shoot, what did I get for that? This pawn's gonna fall too. This bishop's gonna be active again. This, I'll stop right there. But okay, if you want to play that way, we can play that way. Yeah, so you resign. So, not the best continuation there for white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to a study that I have for all my trading games. I actually forgot to do the study last time, which I have it open in another tab. I'll add it later. But I love these studies. I have studies for all my openings and everything. So, did I play this guy already? No. This is the same game. Okay, I'm gonna delete this because I might have pressed it twice. Okay, but let's zoom in here so that you can see it clearly. Alright, so bizarre opening. Or not a bizarre opening, but very common opening. So takes Benoni, G6. So F4 is a very common move to play, but there's so many different ways that this can branch out. As you can see in this Open Explorer, F4, Knight F3, Bishop D3, H3 is the fourth most played, which isn't that far behind the other couple moves. So H3 is a move you should be prepared about. And you see, black has very few wins here in the Masters database. But it's still very fun. So Bishop D3, Castle, Knight F3. They play B5 here. Huh. So B5 is the main move. So you do give up a pawn. Let's see what they have here. So if knight takes, freaking nasty. They just straight up give up the pawn for an extra tempo. Look at this. You castle. Oh, you win the center pawn. But it's still good for white. Oh, I guess now this game just becomes very drawish. So if you see on the right side, there's like 60% draw, 50% draw, because you just trade everything. Okay. Move I play was the second most common move, which is A6, which is probably the highest win rate, maybe besides this move, Knight H5. But A6, A4 is met immediately, and then you got a couple options here. I think I played Rook E8, but Knight H5. Oh look, oh wow, look at this. Knight H5 has the highest win rate with at least 100 moves played, which doesn't say much because you could. They could play Rook E8 and then lose in the endgame, but that was a better move. But Knight h5. Alright, I like my move. I felt like you had to defend against bishop f5. But let's see what the main line is. The main line is knight bd7. Um, the main line is a castle. And then play knight h5. Interesting. And allow bishop g5. And then you give up your bishop? And you don't take the bishop? What is this? What does this mean? If you take it... Oh. I mean, I guess you have a bad bishop here. But interesting. You give up your dark square bishop. The one that's a beast in the game. Okay. Very strange. So why not, instead of castle, why don't you play bishop f4 first? Because you do it before knight h5. And in this line, queen e7 looks like the most popular move. You castle, knight h5, and then you get bishop h2. So I feel like you winning here, like white's winning. And then you play bishop h6. And then f6? What does this mean? Why? What is happening? So you move your bishop out. Oops, sorry. To a different diagonal. You play f6. And then you bring your knight in. That's funny. g3. Queen c7. Knight h4. c4. And then you get this weird move. You can't take because of this queen. And then you give the exchange, but you give it up on a better square, so your knight can come back on time. This is very strange. And white won this game. Lower rated too. Okay. The Benoni is crazy. You see stuff like this and you're like, what is happening? What is happening? Interesting. Okay, so let's go back to the game. a6, a4, knight h5. I did it earlier to prevent it. Castles, knight d7. So bishop g5 is the main move. But g4, look at this. So g4 looks like it has a lot of black wins. I feel like g4 just weakens the king side. I'm actually curious to see how black continue to attack here. But let's look at the main move, bishop g5. Do you play f6 here? Oh, you play bishop f6. So I was planning to just play queen c7, but let me see why they play this. So the main move is to play bishop e3. You don't take it, which is strange. Rook e8. Queen d2. Knight e5. Bishop e2, protecting the bishop. Trading off knights. And then you encounter your knight. If that's not some crazy stuff, I don't know what's happening. a5, bishop d7, knight a4, interesting move. You want to go here? Okay, the main line is to take, b5, takes. You get this position where you have a fiend candle knight and, open queen side, but they have the two bishops. And it's an even split here. So, very interesting. And all these games have been played within the last, in the 2000s. So, modern stuff right here. Modern stuff. Let's go back. So, g4. Go back. Now the bishop f4. The main move is my knight e8 or queen e7. But I think queen c7. I wonder why they play knight e8. I guess you want to free up the bishop. But I don't know, it seems pleasant for white. Yeah, I feel like white's center is like very strong. And my piece is on the back rank, which I wouldn't want to voluntarily do. That's what happens if you ever play Queen E7. Black has a lot of score on this. So they play H5 here. That's nuts. H5, E5, takes, 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 takes. Queen D7. I guess, I don't know why they play Queen D6. You just expose yourself on the bishop. Okay, so Queen D7. F3. Rook E8. Takes, takes. And this is a good game for both sides. I would play either side of this. It has good attacking chances. Pawn is going to roll. We have a 3-on-2 majority. We got tension over here. We both have 2 bishops. It could be very interesting. Alright, let's go back. Bishop F4. I play Queen C7. I'm going to turn off the opening explorer now. So I guess this move is not that great from what the masters say. I feel like Queen E7 was better, but I'm not sure why. Okay, let's continue. Knight D2, B5, takes, takes. And then here was a mistake. Like, there could have been several other moves you can play. Rook E1, Rook C1. Bring your knight here anyways. Maybe even Rook B1 to push B5. Or actually, maybe not open the queen side, but something other than this, you know? And there's no games in this line. Because no one plays Queen C7, but Knight B5 just loses a piece. And it's over. Let me see, actually, after Queen C7, what would computer play as white? I guess maybe E5 works, but I don't think it does. Knight D2. Actually, A5 is fine. Rook E8, Knight D2. B5, alright. Takes, takes. So the computer usually gives the white players in the Benoni a slight advantage, even the material's all even because of the space. So yeah, any other move, Queen F3, Rook E1 would work, but this loses a piece, and yeah, that's just the blunder of the game. You take it, and then strange, you don't take the rook, but you take with the bishop. So takes, takes, and then it's over from here. So yeah, I guess let me see after bishop F4, they like Queen E7, and the computer agrees with Queen E7. So what about Rook E1? H5. Wow, this is a computer line. Maybe the masters got it from the computer. E5 takes, 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 takes. They actually like the computer here a lot. Oh no, no more. I mean, the black here. Queen D6 is actually the preferred move, but that move was lost in the game. I guess the computer switches back and forth. See, it's like 0, -1. Okay, so I guess that Queen D6 because this bishop is unprotected. So anywhere this rook goes, say here for example, we can take the bishop. So we have to go to a square where it protects the bishop, but after the queen moves, the rook has to move, and there's no real threat. So I guess that's why they like it. In the game, they play Queen D2, takes, H4, Queen D8. This is some crazy stuff. Look at this. Ignoring everything. This is pretty crazy. Everything's hanging. But white managed to win this one. And you take on G7? Wow. I'm assuming you play here. Okay, let's actually insert this game. I want to actually see how this game folded. So, rook takes, Queen G5 check. Setting up a mating net. Oh, this is nasty. Look at this. The king's running to the edge of the board. Whoa, that's nasty. That's so nasty. Can that be prevented? So after this, how can you prevent all that? I mean, it's hard. You can't prevent that, can you? how do you prevent that? I think in this, like, black is so exposed, I think white's completely winning. Does computer have a defense for this? Yeah, there's no defense. So I guess before all this crazy stuff. See, it gets too crazy sometimes. After queen d6... Oh. So... if we were to go back... So here, black's slightly better. If they play queen c7... So f6 is actually a losing move. It looks like the winning move. Because you take here. Take. And best is to take the rook. But we took the pawn instead. And then that lost the game. Okay. So yeah. So what did we learn? We learned that well, little subtleties like queen e7. Where is it? Where's the game? Does it end here? No, it's one of these games. Right here. I don't know why that was not the main line. We learned that when playing bishop f4, queen e7 is probably the better move. With the idea to play h5. Okay, that's good to know. Subtle moves like this help you get better, obviously, but little details like this actually improve your game. So even if this makes like a small difference, queen e7 and queen c7, it could be a huge difference when you're playing against masters, when every single advantage is so small. But awesome. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tactics video or training game. Alright, peace out. Cheers.